maybe he has privy to a little inside information. It's a possibility. All right, but let's talk about the fight specifics. So you have a few things that favor Jake Paul. So you have 2-minute rounds. That favors the more amateurish guy. Because as anyone will tell you, when you're more of a beginner boxer, more amateur, whatever, against a pro fighter needs time. When you're older, you also need time. Now, Mike Tyson is one of the exceptions where you could say he doesn't need that much time because he has power and he kind of bum rushes. But regardless, the more you spend time around a dangerous guy, the more your life is going to be dangerous. And the less time you spend around him, the better. So if you have only a 2-minute interim of danger followed by a minute, you know, that's pretty good odds versus the 3-to-1 that would be normally in a fight over 10 or 12 rounds instead of what is, from my understanding, it's going to be 8 2-minute rounds, right? So it doesn't allow for Jake to get overwhelmed, tired, things like that. So that favors the younger guy. Another point, glove size. Favors Jake again because obviously Mike Tyson, power puncher, so it's, you know, if we can soften up the gloves with either 14, I've heard 16-ounce gloves, then that in theory favors Jake Paul. Also more coverage too, right? More coverage for Jake Paul to block shots. Smaller gloves, things get around easier, and that's trouble for Mr. Paul. Age favors Jake Paul, obviously, right? And then health, right? Mike Tyson, the reason why this fight hasn't already happened is Mike Tyson had a health emergency. We all hope he doesn't have a health emergency in the ring. This is why most sanctioning bodies wouldn't sanction this fight back in the day. But there's just so much money and opportunity. From what I saw from the fight promotions, this is going to be highly, highly viewed. So wherever there's money to be made, people will make money, even if it's at the danger of people, because you will, people have lost their life, like George Foreman said, trying to give the people what they want to see, right? We hope that doesn't happen. Last thing is activity, right? Activity favors, who'd you guess? Jake Paul. He's been more active. So you can say, oh, he hasn't fought the great champions that Mike Tyson has fought and everything else, hasn't done it for as many years, but there's a lot to be said for activity. When you put all these things together, it's not looking good for Mike Tyson, but make sure you stick around for me to hear about what Tyson needs to do and some different things to consider, as well as my fight prediction and everything else. Also, I talk about, or I go around to my gym and I ask all the coaches their predictions. So that's a fun one to look out for, right? And then also, if you're liking this content so far, make sure you like, subscribe, consider buying me a cup of coffee, whether it's $2 or $20. $20 a lot of coffee, right? Now, there is one factor in this fight, right? You probably know what it is, right? It's the factor that everyone's banking on, or not everyone, excuse me. Because from what I understand, looking at the odds, I'm not very good at odds, but looking at the odds, it looks like everyone's favoring Jake Paul. But the reason why it's not why it's even a fight that people are going to, you know, theoretically pay in the sense of get a subscription to Netflix or tune in to watch, is because obviously Jake Paul is just such a known name. Because Mike Tyson is such a known name, and Jake Paul is now such a known name for people to hate on. Again, when I was at his promotion, you know, MVP's promotion of his fight in Dallas, Texas, I got to see a sold-out stadium screaming, F Jake Paul. And I was like, wow. Jake Paul is after that Floyd Mayweather money with this, and he might do it, because you guys all know, so many people, maybe you, I have to admit, I did too for a while there until I kind of learned my lesson, but tuned into Floyd Mayweather fights to see him lose. So people are tuning into Jake Paul fights, and it's a brilliant strategy. Kind of the anti-hero, I guess. But the one factor is the power, right? Mike Tyson has that monstrous power. It's what he's known for. It's what got him to where he got to, right? If you take away that power, it's not the boxing ability, it's the power, okay? And obviously, like, you know, people have, well, only a few people have gotten into me, and got into comments about power. it was partially skill, but he was also born with power, right? And yes, he's not devoid of skill, but let's face it, the power is the big equalizer there. And the power is the danger. If Mike Tyson didn't have power, this fight would probably not get made, and it would be just a complete canceling by society of this even happening, which makes you question, why is it happening, right? Money, right? Mike Tyson's making good money for it. Jake Paul's making good money for it. And where there's a lot of money to be made, people will go, no matter what the danger is.
If you eat a banana once a week and can't lose at least 2.2 pounds doing that, you're eating it the wrong way. And I say this because I didn't know how to eat a banana correctly either. After I discovered there's a correct way to eat this fruit to lose weight, my life completely changed. I decided to try it and was amazed. I lost 17 pounds in the first 12 days, and in 3 months I lost exactly 55 pounds just by eating the banana the right way. My daughter introduced me to this recipe after I complained about feeling a bit overweight. And guys, the result was incredible. I completely transformed. My friends were desperate to know what I did, and that's why I decided to make this video, to reveal the new way of eating bananas that made me lose so much weight in such a short time. And the detail is that the person who gave me this recipe was simply my daughter, a doctor. So I asked her to make a video herself, teaching how to make this banana recipe that helped me lose so much weight. And of course, she agreed. So if you really want to lose weight without having to eat a lot of vegetables all day, without having to go to the gym, without having to have surgery, I recommend you watch this video and try this banana recipe for 5 days and see if it works for you too. Today, thanks to this recipe, I am wearing clothes I haven't been able to wear in years. I look decades younger, and I am finally happy with myself. Now click on the link below and watch.
Now, putting aside the one wild card factor in this fight, which is power, let's talk about Jake's plan to win, what he needs to do, and let's talk about Mike Tyson's plan and what he needs to do. And my Mike Tyson plan is a little bit out of the ordinary, right? So Jake Paul's plan, though, pretty ordinary. He needs a jab, he needs to move. He needs to shoot the right hand off the jab and shoot for the chest a little bit more, shut down Tyson's head movement, stuff him up, and tie up. Yes, Coach Keith is saying for someone to tie up. Why tie up? Because Tyson will tie himself up. As you saw in the open gym workout that he, or sorry, like in the press workout that he did. And again, you can't judge too much off of the press workout, but there are telltale signs of things. He still falls in just like he always did. And just like he always did, he will, I will bet you good money, Mike Tyson will initiate clinches. And Jake Paul, I think, will be happy to initiate the clinch to shut him down in a 2-minute round. So therefore, not much happens. Now also as well, it opens him up for punches, but those punches can be a little too dangerous for Paul to throw. So stick to the jab, the 1-2, lateral movement, not going back in a straight line, avoiding the corners. And then when Tyson gets too close and falls in and rushes in with punches, let's look to run him into a right hand, but also when he ties up, you accept the tie up, shut him down, buy you some time, enough to win the round. Now make sure you stick around to the end. I'm gonna tell you the number one thing to look out for in this fight. Right now, let's go off to Mike Tyson. Right, what does Mike Tyson need to do to win this fight? This is where the unorthodox advice comes. Mike Tyson needs to take a little bit out of the playbook of Joe Louis, right? Because what I saw in that media workout, again, because it's so funny with the way things are filmed nowadays, with like jerky cameras and things like that, and real tight shots. You see Mike Tyson in those type of videos now, you think, oh man, wow, he's explosive, he's snappy. And I mean, I'm not saying he's like slow, okay? But he's just nowhere near what he was. And you can see that with the open, press conference workout that he did, where you can see just not a lot. And again, you can't judge everything right now, but you can kind of see some of these old guys factors come into play, right? So in order to do that, let's embrace that. And it's a little bit of style change up for him, but he needs to slowly and methodically cut down that ring like Joe Louis would, right? Not rushing in like Mike Tyson would. Pacing, slowly cutting down that ring, using his hands for some defense and catching to creep him down like a panther, maneuver him into the corner, and then line up the good 1, 2, or maybe 3 shots that are massively powerful and will do the job. That type of style of Mike Tyson, which, I mean, granted, we haven't really seen, but there are moments when he has a little bit of that likability. That is the Mike Tyson we need to see. But one of those things that, and you may totally disagree with me, and that's okay. Comment below if you do or if you don't. But Tyson is so known for his style that it shoehorns him into this style where everyone thinks, oh, we just have to recreate the old Mike Tyson. Where the old Mike Tyson is not built, it's not an old guy's style, right? It's not a style that a non-athletic, non-explosive guy can do, okay? Think about it this way. Think about how Floyd Mayweather fought when he was younger versus when he was older, okay? He adjusted some of his style. Think about a fighter like Roy Jones Jr., who didn't adjust the style, and what happened, and what would continue to happen, versus someone like a Bernard Hopkins that had a little bit more of that old guy style, right? Or just basic style, right? It's not based on athleticism. And the Pete Boo style is based on it, right? The Joe Louis style, it's not. That's why he needs to implement more of it, right? And he's a boxing historian, so I know, if you were to watch this, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the one thing though, in me comparing him to Bernard Hopkins and to Joe Louis, for instance, is his chin is down really well. So that could help him a lot. Because even though Jake Paul seems like he's relatively big, I guess 220 pounds, 30 pounds, it will help be some protection. That's also something too that's scary about this fight. As you get older, you get more susceptible to concussions, so that's concerning. All right. Now, here, I'm going to play for you where I went around a gym and asked our coaches, what their input was, and that's a lot of fun to get to hear some good thoughts from some good coaches. And then make sure you stick around for after that for my number one thing that you need to watch out for in this fight coming up with Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Last year, I started with a little over $1 million and turned it into $18 million. Those types of profits would not have been possible without my favorite indicator. It's the most powerful.
So I'm doing asking all the coaches what their opinion of the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight is. And so guys, this is Coach Dre, one of our best boxing coaches here at X3 Sports Athens. He's also a Golden Glove champion. And what's your opinion of the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight coming up this Friday? Who do you think is going to win?
I feel like it's going to go to decision, and Jake Paul.
All right. All right, so bet the money on Jake Paul?
Hit it on Jake Paul for sure. Yeah.
You heard it here first. All right, guys, I'm here with Jakar, who is the head striking coach, Muay Thai coach of X3 Athens. Very good coach and pretty darn good fighter. What's your opinion of the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight coming up?
I'm going to have to say Jake Paul, and as much as it kills me to say that, Mike Tyson is fairly old, probably will gas out. I think we'll go to decision.
Okay, decision versus the stoppage. Okay, cool. Man, are we going to get anyone from Mike Tyson on this one?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to say Mike Tyson, but the odds are not in his favor. So.
All right. You heard it here first with Coach Shakar. All right, guys, so I'm going to be asking Kyle here, not only BJJ coach, but also a stand-up kickboxing coach. What do you think about the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight coming up?
For one, it's ridiculous. For two, I love it. It's great.
Who are you going with?
Jake Paul. Gotta go Jake Paul. Tyson's 60, right? And Jake Paul's been training seriously.
Decision or knockout?
I think it's gonna be a TKO. I think Tyson's gonna gas, and then he's old, and then the ref's gonna stop it.
All right, so it's not going to go the distance. You heard it here first, guys. All right, gang, I'm here with Coach Trey, one of the top elite boxing coaches here at X3 Athens. What do you think about the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight coming up?
Hate it, but I'm gonna give a controversial opinion. Controversial. I'm hoping it's Tyson. Hoping it's Tyson. Not looking likely.
If you had to bet money on it.
If I had to bet money, I'm a betting man. I'm gonna go Tyson. I mean, he's looking good in his footage.
Stoppage?
I don't think stoppage. But I think that Jake Paul is just not going to be able to do enough. He's not going to be able to deal with Tyson. And I think that Jake Paul, he doesn't have good cardio in the first place. Tyson is pretty explosive. I think after his first couple rounds, they kind of peter out. The rest of it's just going to be a boring fight. Nobody's going to like the last couple rounds, but that's what it's going to be.
So decision for Tyson?
I'm going decision for Tyson. Yeah.
You heard it here first. All right, I'm here with Brett, partner of X3 Sports Athens. So, Brett, what do you think of the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight coming up? That's what you're hoping for? Is that your prediction, or who are you going with?
If it goes if it happens in the first round, I feel good about the knockout. If it goes after that, younger man's going to be in better shape. I'd hate to see him win, for sure, but he could.
Okay, but you're going with Mike Tyson? All right. You heard it here first. That's you asked the best question because we did all this before we found out how long the fight is. It's 8 2-minute rounds. Is the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? So what's your prediction, Coach Jeff? Coach Jeff is our strength and conditioning coach here at Athens X3 Sports.
My opinion is that it's going to be Mike Tyson, but also it's a lose-lose for Jake Paul.